just run through a little bit of what the European Pay Transparency Directive is kind of covering, so that we can kind of, because this is it's interesting that there's companies who are wanting to do this, which is absolutely great, but then of course got quite a lot of people on the call, and a lot of those are in places that are going to sort of have to start bringing this in. And what's quite interesting about it is from the US, pay transparency has kind of become quite a big thing, but really that's just job pay on job postings, really, and salary history bands. That's the kind of two main things that is coming out of the US, which are all great and actually are being transferred around the world. We've got that in the UK quite a lot, even though actually it's not required. The European Pay Transparency Directive is actually requiring that, or at least, you know, before you get to interview stage. And it's obviously also saying no salary history ban. They're not allowing clauses in contracts to stop people discussing their pay, that sort of thing. But it's going loads further. There's a right to information for employees on how the pay is determined, what the pay levels are, how pay progresses within bands, you know, and up above bands. There's also, and this is the big one, a right to information on individual pay and the average levels broken down by sex for their job group. So basically their pay and the pay gap for their group, and that group needs to be a group of jobs that are equal value. So it's not just my job title, it's like the grouping of all the jobs that are similar to mine, basically. So that's a really big thing for companies to have to kind of work out, because they've, you know, it's not just about how do we communicate comp philosophy, but how do we actually communicate some of those intricate pay numbers that we do in the background, but we don't necessarily communicate out to our employees. And then, so all of this is for every company in the whole of the EU, which is quite interesting. On top of that, companies that are larger from employee size, depending on where you are, the numbers are different. It could be 250, could be 100. There are then reporting requirements on pay gap numbers and pay gap numbers for each of the groups. And then if the groups are bigger than 5% and it's not justifiable, then there's further things that have to be done. You know, so that's quite meaty as well for companies. But that's going to be the more reporting kind of requirements. And this isn't just base pay. This is also, you know, variable pay, benefits. So it's, you know, it's the full compensation.
Total reward.
Basically. Total reward, yeah.